All three sluices are open, so there's no water being held back here. And the force of that water is just washing all the rubbish through. Nobody fishing just here. All the fishermen I can see are on the bank on the far side there. They're obviously thinking that fish are just sat there with their mouths open waiting to catch any rubbish that's coming downstream in that little eddy pool there. There's a little bit of a drop off, maybe 2 feet of where it drops down there, so it's still got a little way to go before it equals up. Well, interesting fact about the Ping today is this stretch of the water is actually called Mae Ping Noi. I found with people's investigations they have identified possible routes for the original Ping River. That's not one of them, but that's where water goes from the Ping. It's not actually the ancient course of the river, despite it currently being called Mae Ping Noi. Well, let me show you this lovely schematic of the upper Ping Basin. Up here we see the Mae Ngat Dam, and over on this side is Mae Guang. I mention Mae Guang specifically because this is the current course of the Guang River, which comes on down into Lampung. So where I was the other day, I was talking to you in Lampung, saying about the Guang possibly being the route of where the Ping used to flow through Lampung. I say that because there's a reference to Queen Charma Devi, who was sent here by her father to Lampung, Harry Punchai, to rule that city, and that apparently was on the bank of the Ping River. Mae Ngat up here is in the region of 80 to 87% full. So if they don't allow that water to flow freely out of here, there will be serious problems in the coming months if there is more rain up country coming into Mae Ngat Dam, and therefore the Ping, which is fed from Mae Ngat and other sources, the Mae Tang and Mae Rim, these other sources here will need to flush the water out. So it's important to keep that Mae Ngat Dam in a reasonable level, rather than allowing it to keep the water back. Over here, this is the old city, and this is, if you like, New Town, Chiang Mai. You can see the river flowing through it. This map, you'll see the coloured areas on here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, number 1 here is 3.7. That's the measurement of how high the river needs to be in order to flood this area. So right now we are stood here, and it's quite obvious from looking at the images of the river at this point, it is fairly full. At this point here, which is called P1, the measurement is taken for this point here. This is the river road that comes on down here, and the dam area is here, where you'll see the orange dam I've shown you on a regular basis. Well, this low-lying area is apparently the number 1, which is flooded when it is 3.7. Number 2, which is downstream from here, but towards the city, so Chiang Klang Road is here, and that'll be area number 2 and number 6. Well, number 2 is 3.9 when it's flooded, and then number 6, which is the other side of Chiang Klang, that is at 4.3. All of this area out here at 7 is 4.6. Well, that's a lovely Ping flowing past us at full pout. So right now it's down just at the 3 marker, so 3 meters in depth at this point, and then going up we've got the red line in the middle there. You can see, well, that's when the first area is set to flood, and then of course it could then go up to 4.6, up to the highest. This monitor here out at Sansai at point 67 is the most critical for monitoring in the city and around the city. Well, if the measurement here is at 380, then round about 6 to 7 hours of flow, you're looking at 370 in the centre of town here at point 1. Well, I've now come down to Padet area and showing you this weir fully open. All the sluice gates are up, and this wall, I think, could give you an indication as to how high the water needs to go in order to inundate the area behind me, and obviously the places that are by the side of the river over here, but also the cemetery and the property the other side of the riverside road. This is the area number 1 down off to the side of Padet, and when I was up at the Nawarat Bridge, you were looking at about this amount of additional flood height needed in order to cause the inundation.